Hi guys, this is Tlaloc, and I'm gonna be presenting to you a my lesson on hypothesis testing. And I call this lesson one of two because in the linked learning curriculum, the lesson was an hour and 55 minutes, but this would just be 55 minutes of it. Um, my central focus is that, and my content focus is that students will be able to derive conclusions on whether or not a null hypothesis is trustworthy and then utilize it to create educated opinion about the use of camp practices. So I use that, and pretty much what the students are doing, they're analyzing surveys and an actual lab work that has been done on the topic um, in order to make just decisions on their opinions. Here's my standard. I got this from Illustrated Math. Here's my learning objectives. Students must be able to explain type 1 and type 2 errors. And then I will know this as they're presenting in their groups, as they're talking and having conversations in their groups. Another one is analyze camp practices. And we're going to have a class discussion, and I will know this informally whether they're getting it or not. And then they need to be able to use percentages with the data that they acquire. And there's a worksheet that they need to turn in. For my language function and reading, after I go over the terms, I'm going to have the terms up on the board so they can refer back to them. Writing, they're going to be writing on their math journals for a bit. And then speaking, they're going to have group discussions, and we're going to have a whole class discussion on the topic. So prior knowledge, students should be pretty flexible with their knowledge and know a lot of stuff already, especially with calculating different tendency variation. And then for my hook and purpose, we're going to start discussing the article they read for homework. And then we're going to do a Google survey that I created in order to gather data. The linked learning curriculum had that we had to have a survey on our entire school, but for the purpose of this lesson, we're just going to do our class and compare it to the percentages in the nation. And then again, I'm telling them what the null hypothesis is, type 1 and type 2 statistical errors, and then they're going to get into groups and use the survey that we created with our class, do another small surveys, and compare the 10 types of therapies that the article speaks about, compare that to the class, compare it to their groups, and then have a discussion on whether or not they can draw their group and generalize the information, or if they can draw the class and generalize the information, or what type of information they need in order to draw conclusions. My scaffold and differentiation is that my IEP and EL students, I'm going to give them a 100 square box worksheet where they can color the different percentages for them to see the differences in the 3 types of surveys they did. And then the students will write in their journals. And then for my differentiation, students will, if they need more time, they can turn it in later on through a Google Doc. And then for my closure, we're going to have the discussion of whether or not government agencies should be promoting this type of therapies, such as praying, yoga, and all of that into their medical components. Thank you so much.